Hey, it's Carolyn Grimm with Accounting How To, and I am here to talk about one of the three major headaches with QuickBooks Online, and that is the chart of accounts. So let me just give you a little bit of behind the scenes accounting so that you understand what's going on with the chart of accounts. We say in accounting that there are 5 types of accounts. We've got assets, liabilities, equity, revenue, expenses. And all of the accounts that we use, like a checking account or accounts receivable, they fit within those 5 category types. Assets, things that are owned by the company, liabilities, things that are owed by the company, equity, how much value the owner has in the company, and then revenue, what you're charging your customers, and expenses, what you have to spend in order to make that revenue. So 5 account types. But in QuickBooks, we're going to add some specialized accounts that are specific for accounting software. And those are things that unlock various modules within that software to tell it that we need to do some specific things. So for example, if we have a checking account, that is an asset. But in QuickBooks, we're going to call it a bank account because that's going to tell QuickBooks that we need to have a bank register. We need to be able to do reconciliations. Or if we're talking about accounts receivable is an asset. But in QuickBooks, we're going to call the account type an accounts receivable type. That tells the software that we're going to need to do things like invoicing and receive payments and run things like an accounts receivable aging report. So let's jump into QuickBooks and I'll give you a quick rundown on all of that. Okay, so here we are in one of my sample QuickBooks companies that I create for my classes. And we're going to jump right into the chart of accounts. So we're going to come up to the gear icon under your company. We're going to go to chart of accounts. So when I talk about the account type, this is what I'm talking about right here. And this is set up when you set up a new account. So this is a preset chart of accounts based on what I told QuickBooks about my company. So here we go with this first account. You see that the account type is not an asset. It's called bank. So even though it's still an asset, it will always be an asset. The specific account type that QuickBooks needs is bank. So we're telling it that it needs to do some things like we need to be able to reconcile our accounts. Here's our accounts receivable. Accounts receivable is an asset in QuickBooks and other accounting software. We're going to call it a specific type of account, accounts receivable, because this is what clues QuickBooks in that we need to do invoicing and accounts receivable aging reports. You'll see we've got a whole bunch of other current assets here. And then when we scroll down, we also have fixed assets. So these are things like buildings or vehicles that we need in order to do the thing that we do. We have a factory or we have a delivery van. So we are saying specifically that these are related to fixed assets. And this is where you're going to see your accumulated depreciation account turn up. It's part of our fixed asset world. And then we've got a bunch of other assets. These could be a variety of different things. We're not going to touch on those too much in this particular video. Coming down here to our liabilities section, we have this liability called accounts payable. So accounts payable is a liability. You have bought something on account you haven't paid for it yet. So you're going to want to keep track of what you owe to other people, to other companies. And this accounts payable type of an account tells QuickBooks that we need to keep track of the bills that we have entered, when they're due, when we pay them, and we're going to need to run an aging accounts receivable report or accounts receivable aging report. You'll see a bunch of other current liabilities. Again, that's a video for another day. Here are our long-term liabilities. So long-term liabilities are due over a period of longer than a year. So a mortgage over 30 years or a bank loan for a vehicle over, say, 5 years. So we want to specifically say that those are going to be paid over a longer period of time. Down here in our equity section, you're going to see all of those accounts that we use in order to keep track of the owner's value in the business. And these are going to be specific to the type of business, whether it's a sole proprietorship or partnership or an LLC or corporation. Then we get down here into the income accounts. Those are specifically set up as income accounts, revenue, because we want those to hit the financial statements in a particular place. We want them to go to the income statement, the profit and loss statement, as a lot of people know it. Then we've got our cost of goods sold section. So this is a very specific accounting thing. We want to keep track of, on our income statement, our profit and loss, if we are selling merchandise that we're buying from someone else, or we are creating our own merchandise for sale, building tables, for example. We want to keep track of those costs that are specific to building that product or delivering that service. So we're going to call those cost of goods sold. And it's going to bump that up on the income statement so that we are seeing our revenue minus cost of goods sold to get to our gross profit, and then all of our other expenses will come from that. And I will drop in the description, of course, a video about those financial statements so you can understand those better, and it will help you use QuickBooks more effectively. And then the rest of this list is all expenses. So we're going to have all of those expense buckets that we need in order to keep track of our business in whatever way we see fit. Now let's come over here and we're going to add a new account so that you can see where those pieces come into play. So let's start out with a new, and we're going to call this new bank account First Dino Checking. When we come here to the account type, we want to specifically say that this is a bank account, and the detailed type for this is going to be checking. Now, if we had an opening balance, we would enter that here, but I just want to look at what we've done here with this. It's now going to turn up here in our chart of accounts as the correct type, a bank account, and the detailed type of checking. Now let's look at a different type of account. We're going to set up a credit card, and we're going to call that Fossil Bank Credit Card. Select the account type. We want to find credit card, because again, this is telling the software that we want to do some specific things with this. We want to set this up so that those transactions flow in automatically from our bank so that we don't have to manually enter all those transactions. So we're going to call it a credit card. We're also going to want to reconcile this account. Again, if we had an opening balance or we wanted to put some sort of a description there, we could do that. Now, a credit card is a liability, so we want to come down to the liability section and take a look at that. So here's Fossil Bank Credit Card, set up as a credit card. So now when we go to the transaction side of things, we'll be able to flow that information into the account. So each one of those accounts that gets set up, it's really important to set them up as the type of account they need to be for the software, as well as having that understanding that this is an asset or a liability or an equity or revenue and expense. So those are the building blocks of accounting. And then on top of those building blocks, we're adding these specialized account types in accounting software so that we can tell it what it needs to know about what to deploy within that software. So when those are set up correctly, that takes care of one of the big headaches in QuickBooks. In the next video, we're going to talk about headache number 2, which is the products and services. So I will see you in the next video.